All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving dinner full of turkey and stuffing. We had a good dinner here. So much pie. So much pie left over. It was great. But yeah, it's time to work all that turkey off, time to work that pie off, time for us to go on an adventure. So we're headed back. Mouse, please. Oh, there's that dulcet tone we know. Back to VIII. Yeah, what fresh trans-temporal shenanigans are we up to? We're up to all sorts of good ones. So as I promised, I did go back and redo some of the raids just to increase our approval rating slightly. So that was just redoing things we'd already done just to get a better score. But yeah, so we have our castaways in the village, and we found out that our friend from 1,000 years ago is in fact also has some sort of role with the apocalypse that the tree she thought was sacred is in fact the cause of. I don't know who or what N is, so I can't say. But yeah, I kind of think of the tree as like the monolith from 2001. It's like the catalyst of evolution. Hey, I just caught a pretty tasty looking fish. Can't let our stomachs go empty if we're gonna be doing a lot of fishing, fighting, right? You should have some, Adol. That is not how you cook a fish. Sahad, I am scared. I do not want to eat this fish.
That was delicious. Man, am I stuffed. And I made plenty for everyone, too.
I couldn't eat another bite.
Looks like everyone else got to eat their fill, too. Glad I could whip something up for everyone. Shame the captain weren't with us to enjoy it. I decided, after I get off of this island, I'm gonna pay my respects to the captain's family. That man did a lot for us. Him and me, we got the same sea in our blood. Wouldn't be right not to tell his kin about what happened.
It's very noble of you.
Then
I'll come with.
Thanks for that, Adol. Since we're talking about captains and all, that Captain Reed fella's been gnawing at me too. Falsely charged and dying alone, without ever seeing his family or crew again. Wish he had some descendants, so I could tell him the truth.
I've received word that my family's escaped and taken refuge on a small island in the Gaeta Sea. The hair color of yours. You be hailing from Crete, Sea Dog? Huh? Yeah, I do. Gah, must be fate. I wonder who his descendant is.
Huh? Yeah, I suppose. But what everyone else thinks they know ain't the only truth. Could be people out there what still believe in Captain Reed. All right. When I get back home, I'm telling the family all about what happened here. Everything I saw, everything I heard, everything. I'm getting fire in my belly just thinking about it. Here's to a great departure, Adol.
Yeah. You never know what you find when you start climbing the family tree. It's true. I found all sorts of shenanigans in my family tree. And there's times when I see things in my family tree and the records that go, yeah, that tracks. Okay, so Kathleen wants something. She wants some pure orichalcum. Franz wants us to help us with something and will give us pumpkin pie. And Cathu wants to christen the ship. Okay, I know the world is ending. But hear me out. Side quests. Improving our approval rating. Oh, trade pearls and jewels. Garment of many tongues. I don't want any of that. But I bet you have all sorts of new gifts. Ooh, adventuring gear slot. Sure, bolognese recipe. Why not?
This one is special. This one is special.
Okay, so I want some underworld hides, and some Saurian parts. Can we get any of that? No. Because that's what we need. Well, we'll get there at some point. Franz, here, take this tea set.
Adol.
Adol presents Franz with the antique tea set as a gift. A half-decent tea set. This is a Die Gronzel piece. Its antique tableware is said to make tea taste better. It's my favorite tableware line, in truth. Oh, I'm glad to hear you have a favorite table line. I'm actually taken aback. Thank you very much. I'm quite charmed that you found this and are giving it to me as a gift. You're a soft-hearted man and quite sharp. As I thought, you're somewhat similar to my master. Laxia said the same thing. Ah, is that so? Then that must mean I'm not alone in my thinking. Excuse me. I just had something on my mind. Now then, Adol. Do you have time right now? Franz invited Adol to have a seat and threw an impromptu tea party. Today's tea has been a refreshing aroma due to the Tilmoni blend from the Isle Siren. Snacks include tiramisu and peach madeleines. Ooh, a peach madeleine sounds so tasty. How? Lifting the spirits of one's master is the butler's duty. Please, don't worry about the minor details and enjoy. Anyway, using such beautiful tableware makes the tea party look extravagant. I'll have to pour some tea for my lady in the near future. I can't wait to see the face she makes. Yeah, my favorite tableware is anything that doesn't leak. That's a good bar. I've determined that you are a man in possession of considerable skill, such that you are worthy of christening yourself adventurer. I still have a lot to learn. The fire in your eyes betrays your humble countenance. It's because I acknowledge your skill that I have requested this favor from you. I recently discovered tracks not far from the village that have been left by a primordial. The creature may still be in the vicinity of its tracks. However, I see no need to involve the rest of the village in this matter. So what will you say? Will you join me in tracking down this beast? Naturally, I expect you to fight the primordial should we find it. Sure. Very well, I shall guide the way. That seems safe. I saw the tracks around here. Okay. Were they washed away by the tide? Oh, wait, there they are. More tracks. I only observed one set when I first came here. Rawr. They look like they're ready for a rave. Our guests have arrived. I fear we may have bitten off more than we can chew. Yeah, we can't let a single one escape. Right you are. I propose we evenly distribute our foes between us. Best of luck to you, Adol. How are you dividing half a dinosaur? Oh, am I fighting my own set of 3? Is that it? Get up, Adol. Adol. Now it's not time for tryptophan-induced coma, please. Why can it shoot electricity? Why did the tree allow this to evolve? What induced the magic tree to be like, you know what the world needs? More lightning-spitting dinosaurs. At all. Oh my goodness, at all, please. Let's really quickly use that.
Keep going.
I swear I hit the dodge roll button there, but...
Keep going.
What did this butler get me into? Rude. We did it. The feed is jumpy? I think that's on your end, I'm afraid, Kit. I'm showing clear broadcasting, no dropped frames. I'm sorry. Oh dear, I can scarce believe how many of these beasts actually appeared. My initial assessment was far too lenient. Please accept my most sincere apologies. Did that butler just punch a dinosaur to death? No, my inability to foresee this outcome was a grievous error on my part. This won't do at all, and I solemnly promise my lord to... I would ask that you not reveal the details of this incident to Mistress Loxia. In truth, Lord Roswell gave me one final order before his departure. He released me from my duty to serve him, so that I could serve his family from that day on. In his honor, I have kept a watchful eye on the Mistress Loxia over the years. That is why I cannot afford to make a single error in judgment. I still have much to learn, I'm afraid. Mistakes are the best teachers. I don't know about best, but they're good ones. Right you are, indeed. I certainly can't give up now. Now then, having witnessed your prowess, I have one more favor I wish to ask of you. If it's not too much trouble on your part, can you assist me in thwarting this batch? Oh, come on! Jolly good. To arms, then. Oh, I don't have to fight them. Thank you very much for helping me, Adol. Oh, thank you. You're ever so humble. Adol, Franz! Where have you been to? I was worried about you. My apologies. Our business took longer to resolve than anticipated. You don't sound like you're about to tell me what exactly is going on. What have you two been up to? Look at you, Adol. You're covered in dirt and your collar's bent out of place. My word, what on earth did you get yourself into? With a huff, Loxia begins to primp Adol's clothes. This display calls to mind vivid memories of Mistress Loxia and her father. Oh dear, why would observing this give rise to such a sentiment? That goes for you too, Franz. Hey, are you listening? Of course. And might I say, you two are the ideal image of a devoted husband and wife. Oh, wait, Franz, how dare you say something so unnecessary? Oh, poor Adol. Feeling
Great
awkward.
job.
Yeah, Franz's approval maxed out. Pumpkin pie recipe. Which means we should probably be able to... Yep. Have a cutscene with Franz. Hello, Adol. I expect you would be a man greater than the word alone suggests. The timing may be poor, but might I have a moment?
Things may be calm now, but you never know when a primordial might appear. Adol, do you believe we will survive this experience?
Absolutely. Nothing's killed us yet, right?
I am relieved to hear you say that. Adol. No, Sir Adol. I apologize for my impertinence, but I must ask a favor of you. This situation is without precedent, and I will lay my life on the line to keep us safe. However, should the worst happen to befall me, please look after Mistress Laxia in my stead.
Why would you ask that of me?
I'm a butler in service to House Roswell. What other reason do I require? 18 years ago, Lord and Lady Roswell encountered a war orphan while traveling and took him in. Not only did they welcome that poor boy into their home and treated him like family, but they bestowed upon him the great honor of serving House Roswell as their
So they adopted you and made you their butler? That
As far
doesn't
as my
sound...
life is concerned, I live only to serve House Roswell. But I believe the time will soon come when Mistress Laxia no longer requires my service. She has grown more wise, thanks to you. I believe her pride and determination will prove to be valuable assets to her, and I believe she can overcome any hardship facing House Roswell.
We saved you. You serve us now.
The future is promising indeed.
Well, she still needs help, though.
Yes, perhaps she does. Very well. I will not give up. I shall endeavor to survive. That being said, there is something that I still expect from you. Though it might be more fitting to say, you still have a responsibility to uphold.
What responsibility? Are you saying I have to make an honest woman of Laxia?
I see through your feigned ignorance. You are so much like Lord Roswell.
No, this isn't
In any
feigned.
case, I will continue to serve Mistress Laxia for the time being. Thank you for everything, Adol.
Yay! Yeah, step 0, we are in fact headed towards, accelerating towards the end, because this is the last chapter. And in answer to your question, Gail, good to see you. Least
What should I
favorite
upgrade?
Thanksgiving food? Ooh, I have a controversial opinion on this. I know it's going to make people upset, but cranberry sauce? I think cranberry sauce is a waste of space. Like, I don't think it adds anything. And the canned stuff is not good. When I first started smithing with orichalcum, I had a lot of trouble at first, but I finally have a pretty solid understanding of its properties. Now I can reforge your weapons so they're made just as good as ones of pure orichalcum. Just about all kinds, yeah. That being said, I took a hell of a lot of work for me to get this far. And if you want me to forge orichalcum armor, for example, it would take me a very long time to refine the ore. Which is why I'm going to ask you for a favor. I need you to bring me some pure orichalcum, high-quality stuff, no impurities. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but if you have some time, I could make incredibly powerful armor like you've never seen before. You do me this favor, I guarantee you guys won't regret it. It's going to be a challenge on my end, too. Thanks in advance. Good luck to you. Okay. So... where would we get orichalcum? What's going on there on the Nameless Coast? That's weird. We'll go check that out in a moment. So there's the story destination. We can't return back to here until after we've done some more of the story. Yeah, who would have thought Brass was so good? But in answer to the cranberry sauce thing, here's the thing. I like the taste of fat, so I don't want something to cut through it. Matthew, I had something I want to discuss with you. As you probably know by now, the ship's construction is nearly complete. I know this isn't the right time for... Actually, never mind. This is the perfect time for some O'Neill ship launching. Oh, that should make everyone happy. Yeah, it'll definitely raise everyone's spirits. However, it's a tradition to use white wine in a ceremonial ship launching. Obviously, it's going to be hard to find white wine on this island, but I talked to Thanatos, and he says he knows how to make something close enough. Apparently, you can make alcohol from a fermented tree sap. Well, you can make alcohol from anything with a sugar. Can you find 3 fermented sap for me? Sure thing. Thanks, Adol. If you need help, you should talk to Thanatos. He should have more information for you. Sorry to dump this on you, but I really need that sap. With everything going on, please be careful while you're exploring. I don't remember if we've talked to Byron about the map.
Yeah,
Let me see. Nope, we have not, but we have 90%.
Well,
I'm glad it's progressing this well.
this is a special one.
Spirit necklace. Tree sap, so maple booze? Yeah, sounds good to me. Which means I need you to stay on top and work on the map. You fill in some more and come let me see. Well, there's not much more map. Wine. Looking for the fermented sap. That stuff's pretty rare. Well, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find some. I found some myself on a tree growing in a swamp. If you're going to look anywhere, I recommend swamps and marshes. Okay. See? Anything with the sugar. Let's go check out what this question mark on the beach is.
It's up to you, Sahan.
No, I think we're doing just fine. Hello? Hey, Adol. Does this wrecked boat look familiar to you? That's our boat. It's the one the fat guy stole. Yes, that's right. This is the boat Sir Carlin took. We must have drifted it all the way here. Seems like a waste of a good boat. Can we fix it up and use it? Maybe we can, if we replace what's broken. But what would you use this boat for, Ricotta? With a boat, I can go places I've never been before, like... there! To a different giant tree. That island, huh? It might be possible to get there by boat. Yes, and there could be more castaways there, too. She's right. Should we fix this boat at all? It might prove useful, after all. Acerum is a brandy. Huh. Okay. And once everything was assembled, they fixed the boat. Yeah, let's take the boat. Board the boat. Everyone hopped into the boat and they started rowing towards the small island. And with no giant octopi or squid to bother us this time. Solitude Island. I keep hitting that button thinking it's the roll. It's because I've been playing a bunch of Psychonauts 2, and that is where I have my, ooh, engraved pen. Wow, look at this tree we could see this whole time.
Whoa, how
Magna
beautiful.
Carta. Listen here, game. I'm the one who makes the father jokes.
That's a big old Picard.
I'm so famished, I can hardly move. No, need food, need food. You! Sir Carlin? You're alive? Sir who? She didn't meet him. He left the village before he came back. Ah, the hallucinations have set in. At long last, the end has come for me. Sir Carlin, it's really us. What? Have you truly come to rescue me? I nearly died when that monster sank my boat. I've been stuck on this island for days with naught but filthy water to drink. If you're not a hallucination, then please rescue me at once. Gah, sounds like you've been through a lot. But you've done well to survive this long. I admit, you could cause a lot of problems for us, but in the hindsight, that all seems so trivial now. Let's bring it back to the village, Adol. Everyone thought Sir Colin had drowned after being attacked by the Okeanos, but miraculously, though somewhat worse for wear, he was discovered living on a small island. And so, with Adol leading the way, Sir Carlin returned to Castaway Village. Now, no stealing our boat this time. Ah, it's been too long. Oh, is that? No way, Sir Carlin! I thought he was dead! Well, this is quite a surprise. Ah, my dear friends, come to greet me, have you? Well done defending the homestead in my absence. Yes, well done indeed. I have mixed feelings about your praise. Wow, I can't believe we almost forgot what a jerk this guy was. As I explained before, Sir Carlin, we're nearly finished preparing a means of escape, but the primordial raids have been becoming quite vicious, and we could really appreciate your help. Huh? Why should I help you? I thought protecting this village was your job. If you're short-staffed, why not ask that belligerent captain of yours to contribute? Oh, he wasn't around for that. No, we didn't have a chance. Listen, Sir Carlin, the captain passed away. Nameless got him after you went missing. Oh. I wasn't particularly fond of him, but... He was brave to the very end. Yes, of course. Anyway, Castaway Village is a pretty dire straits now. Oh, that was Ogie talking. Whoops. We need you to be more cooperative and stop being such a stuck-up jerk. Otherwise, you might not leave this place alive. I understand the situation just fine. This village has clearly become no less rude in my absence. Yeah. Where are you going? I need to be alone for a little while. I'm tired, if you'll excuse me. That sigh was for you, Step-Zero. Who knows? Maybe he just needs time to let everything sink in. Well, he does seem a little different. Not by much, but a little different. I'm glad he's safe, but if he causes problems again, we're gonna have problems. We need to be careful with him. Yeah, at any rate, we need to let the other villagers know he's back. Yeah, you've done great work, Adol. I'm sure you're pretty exhausted. For now, we'll just all keep an eye on Sir Carlin. Sir Carlin has rejoined Castaway Village. He's the only person to get that dialogue. let me finish the cutscene, step 0. Anyway, today's gospel is one of my favorites. Also, good to see you, K. Maximilian. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. So the gospel today is the woman... Is Christ hanging out outside the temple? He sees the poor woman put 2 coins in and loudly exclaims, like, this woman gets it. This woman understands what it means to be a member of the kingdom of God and to take care of others. And it's kind of a great moment of teaching, because it's not one he planned. It's not like Jesus talked to this woman and was like, okay, you do this and I'll be sitting there and then we'll do the thing. No, it just happened. And Christ spontaneously was like, hey, everyone, pay attention. This is an important thing. Where is the nearest? Probably there, I guess. Hey, that is great news to hear of your cousins coming to a greater life of faith. I had a good Thanksgiving here. It was quiet. I was going for a bike ride today, but car tires have taken all of the day and said, ooh, that is a mood. Car tires do that. I need to equip some boots, so probably those. Thanksgiving was quiet, honestly. It was only 4 of us in the house in the end. 3, myself, 2 other Paulus, and then I had a guest in town. The hollow is filled with fermented sap. Yeah, that's one fermented sap. And now this fermented sap is getting out of here. Wait. Schlam jungle. But yeah, we had a nice quiet. More fermented sap. Really quickly, while we are doing just random side quest stuff, except I think that might be all the side quest stuff we can do for now. So I think now we need to find our way. Yeah, for the last wine needed, we have to go there. So we've got to continue the story destination. Anyway, a reminder that we're doing a giveaway right now. Between now and next Thursday, if you want to win a Busted Halo 2023 Christmas ornament. It feels like she can find free fermented sap. Maybe, but you know what? We need to get off this island. Anyway, if you want to win one of those, go to the Discord and just in the general chat channel, just tell me what you want for Christmas and you'll be entered for one of 5 chances. It's on the Father Evan CSP Discord. Link should be down below. Or thank you, Step Zero, for the link in chat there.
The primordial population has definitely increased.
What's that? Something wrong?
Look down. The great tree of origins.
Oh, the magic tree. What's the magic tree doing? Oh, some weird stuff is happening at the magic tree.
Is that fog?
It doesn't look like the fog we saw with the ghost ship.
Yes, it's localized entirely around the great tree. It almost resembles a cocoon of sorts.
Spawning. That's actually very accurate.
No, I've never seen it do this before.
Well, yes, you have, actually.
What's happening here?
Look at that!
I think they must have changed the item jingle because I don't think it could actually. Yeah, actually, it is kind of like, wow, I'd never thought of that. It is like Metroids. That's wild, K-Max.
Primordials?
They look like the one that attacked the village. Those primordials predate the Eternian era.
How is that possible? Are you saying those primordials came from the fog?
We can't determine anything from up here.
Legally distinct item jingle.
Adol.
I'm worried about the everything right now.
Well,
Indeed, we don't know when it might come under attack again. Like Hummel said, the Great Tree may very well be the cause. Let's
Might
check
be?
in with the village before we make our way to the Great Tree.
Except, Gale, I think the fog disappears from the Tree of Life at one point in Final Fantasy IX and stays away for the rest of the game. This one came in at the very end, so I guess it just transferred from one tree to the other. Adol checked in with Castaway Village to confirm their situation and share what they had discovered. According to Dogi, attacks against the village had become more frequent, and the situation was more dire than ever before. I still need to finish. I started 9 and I was like, oh, and I had it on PC. I'm like, these backgrounds don't look great because they didn't do a great job of porting them. So I found a mod to upgrade them, and what it wound up making was pixel soup. It was a problem. Literally made it unplayable. So I put it down, and that was a few years ago, because I was still in seminary then. In spite of that, Dogi assured Adol that he and the others were up to the task of defending the village. At Dogi's urging, Adol and the others made their way toward the Great Tree, which became enshrouded by a mysterious fog. And now we should be able to... Nope, we can't travel to everything yet. We have to work our way down the old-fashioned way. I think the PS4 version is probably a better port, because it's handled probably by Squeenix, whereas like the PC ports have typically been handled by a third party. They have not had a great track record of the ports, to be honest. There are lots of somethings there, but nothing said I have to fight the somethings. Okay, this one hit me. It dies now. Didn't know Final Fantasy IX just had a history of weird graphical stuff. But there you go. Oh, man. Yeah, some of the like 2D ones ported, it's like, how hard is this to port? And yet you've managed to screw it up so badly. Oh, man, the Chrono Trigger port on PC was an embarrassment. It was almost unplayable. And they barely got it to a point where it's like where it should have been at release, but it's one of those where it's like, ugh. Oh, I didn't know Tales of Symphonia had a bad one. Oh, that is a cool looking dinosaur. With, like, the neon body. But Chase, Gale, I can also play card games with random people, but not instead of fighting like in 8. Just extra card games. One day companies will make good ports. Today is not that day. But when it comes to ports, I don't have to worry that much because I have Final Fantasy 3/6, depending on if you're using American and Japanese counting, and Chrono Trigger, just on the SNES natively. So, hey Quixotic, good to see ya. Yeah, I had a really nice Thanksgiving. Just a nice low-key quiet one, but really good company. So, how about yourself? Well, your cards can level up? That's wild. Yeah, 5 was never released stateside. It was on the GBA. Hey, there we go. We're on the same wavelength. And those ports are pretty good because the GBA is basically a Super Nintendo in handheld form. Ow. Ow. Jerks. Ow. It's a good thing those potions are easy to make. Yeah, I have 4 on the GBA. Four job fiesta each year. Nice. Hey, happy birthday to your son, Quixotic. That's awesome. Where are we headed? We're headed to the left. We don't need to worry about that spot. Oh, that's less good. I guess at least when it does a tail swipe attack while we're all lying down, it doesn't hit us.
What the hell happened to the great tree?
It's just emitting a bunch of
I have a bad feeling
lightning
about it.
fog.
What is this feeling? It's like
I'm sure it's fine. Ominous fog has never meant a bad thing in video games, ever.
oh, somebody's there.
Something there.
Yeah, 6 is really neat. Did you suplex a train? That's my favorite part of 6. Nope, 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 nope. If we fight every single one of you, we'll be here all day. And we have other plans. Absolutely, lol, of course. It's like an unwritten rule of... Oh, that thing just emerged from the fog. Yeah, you can do some powerful min-maxing in that one. Primordials are coming out of the fog! Yes, and this fog is slowly spreading too. That's bad, right? At all. Let's keep an eye out for any primordials as we proceed. Nope, still can't teleport anywhere. I want to do side quest stuff. I want to find the orichalcum and the fermented tree sap. You're a numbers guy, so as soon as close to a level, time to change to the Esper for stat boosting that you need. Nice, yeah. It's a game where numbers go burr. The goal of any JRPG is to feel strong. I mean, I think that's the goal of any RPG in general. Oh, hey, remember when Donna had that vision and she was walking along the really long bridge full of fog? This isn't anything like it, I'm sure. Whoa! Is it just me or did this fog get thicker? I can barely see anything around me. Let's stay close together. Watch your step, everyone. Yeah, because there's the tree. And it's not getting any closer.
We should have reached the temple by now.
Huh. Did we miss it?
What are you
Ast Libra.
saying?
Huh.
We couldn't have missed it.
That's a very JRPG name. Ast Libra revision.
Hey, is the path supposed to be this long?
No.
No. Something is clearly amiss here.
I don't sense any Saurians. What's going on?
Only way we'll find out is if we keep moving.
Is everyone here?
Present
Yes,
and
we
accounted
are.
for.
I have a bad feeling about this. Everyone, be careful.
Hey, Anonymous's gift K, Maximilian K with the gift sub. Okay, Max, why not give a big ol' thank you to Anonymous. Adol suddenly noticed that his friends had vanished without a trace. He called out to them, but he received no answer. Fog and silence filled the area. That's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, you're all good. It's just part. I just say, give a big ol' thank you, just as part of my automatic script when someone gets gifted a sub. That be Le Erythros, Crimson Eidolon of the Fog. Okay. So it's as an Eidolon, it is essentially the physical manifestation of the fog, I guess, or one of them, because Donna fought a different one. But hey, after Donna fought hers, she got her mark. I'm sure there's no connection to happen there. Adolf, get out of the fire. Get out. I rolled. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Ow. I need you to get off of your ring of fire. Thank you. Bad, weird dinosaur beast dragon tree thing. I don't like that I have to do this on top of the fire. That hurts.
Keep going.
But it's almost down. Yeah! There we go. Life is a resource. Yes, thank you. But, the last HP only matters if you know when it's gonna happen. Because if that thing's just gonna pull out some surprise move that does 10,000 damage, well...
Adol.
Oh, I'm so glad you're safe. Looks like we somehow ended up back at the mountain gate. Though Adol had been attempting to reach the great tree, he somehow found himself back at the great mountain gate with the others. For the moment, Adol decided to sort out the current situation. Fog weird, new monsters, this bad, let's go. Afterward, we all got separated in the fog. Yes, I thought I was heading toward the great tree, but before we knew it, we somehow ended up back at the front gate. What's going on? Where are Sahad and Rakata? Well, those two wound up back here just like we did, but... Strange voices pierced through the fog. Oh, they tried to find a way through again. Oh, it's no use. I ran as fast as I could, but... I tried to stop them. But they were determined to see if they could get through the fog by sprinting. I guess it didn't work.
Adol?
A sudden burst of searing pain shot through Adol's arm.
Adol?
What's going on?
They need to sprint backwards through the fog. Obviously. I can't believe Rakata didn't think of this. Adol groaned in spite of himself and rolled up his sleeve. Oh! Hey, look, he matches Donna.
Wait, that's... the same symbol as Donna?
Just showed up out of the blue.
Why the hell does Adol have it?
Why did he get a tattoo? I want a tattoo.
You received that exact same symbol after you fought a primordial in the fog.
Adol confirmed that the primordial he fought earlier was reminiscent of Donna's.
What?
Everyone, look!
cocoon of fog surrounding the great tree is expanding.
What's going on?
Nothing good, that's what.
The evolution of the world, begun anew by the great tree of origins.
What?
Something's coming from the fog.
Hey, it's that one
That's the robed fellow we saw at the Valley of Kings. But who are the others? Ah!
Those people.
They're monsters!
Oh, that's not very nice.
1,000 pardons for bewildering you. Let us begin by introducing ourselves. My name is Hydra.
Hi, Hydra.
I am Minos.
Hey, look, he has the tattoo.
Upon closer examination, you humans are far more frail-looking than I had expected.
My name is Nestor.
Odd, you don't look like a bishop from the 4th century.
Do not require that you commit it to memory. Nevertheless, we are well met.
And I am Uber.
I mean, cool hat.
You are Adol, I presume. We wish you no harm.
Really?
I'm skeptical, but I suppose we should hear them out.
We're frail but feisty. True.
So who are you?
Selection and rejection. As I mentioned before, this process is the means by which the Great Tree fosters evolution. We are the Wardens of Evolution, beings who have been tasked with overseeing that process.
The Wardens of Evolution? What you said earlier, the evolution of the world begun anew by the Great Tree of Origins? What does that mean?
The tree hit the reset button.
It is beyond your ken. The Lacrimosa has visited this world many times over the ages. That humans now claim dominion over this world will not forestall the inevitable.
You mean...
Exactly. The same fate that befell the Eternians will befall you.
What if I punch the tree really hard?
Humans have been rejected for the coming evolution.
Rejected?
What? What?
You mean we're all gonna die?
Unfortunately, yes. The Lacrimosa will bring forth a cataclysm, which varies in accordance with the era. The resurgence of the prehistoric world unfolding before your very eyes, that is, in fact, the Lacrimosa of this era.
Its effects are currently confined to this island, but in due time, it will spread across the world.
Herbicide, it's our only hope.
So it has been decided since time immemorial.
I didn't agree to that.
So do I. How can you say we've been rejected when we don't even know the reason why?
These are understandable reactions. I sympathize with your plight, but there is nothing we can do.
Not once in the entire span of existence has a species thrived forever. By necessity, the species must be renewed to maintain the world.
Simply put, the Lacrimosa is the natural law of the world. All living creatures must accept its judgment.
But this isn't how evolution works. It's not a wipe the slate clean and try again.
Huh. What is it?
They all have the same symbol as Donna and Adol.
Oh, there it is. It's on his hand.
Indeed they do. What does that mean?
Donna? No.
It seems you've remembered. When the Lacrimosa comes, a single individual is selected from the species facing extinction.
Aren't all the species facing extinction?
That individual will then witness the destruction of their own species.
That's cruel.
In doing so, the cycle of selection and rejection will be perpetuated for all eternity.
Question, what does that, the selection of the one person literally have to do with the rest of it?
We, the Wardens of Evolution, are those chosen.
You, Donna, are the chosen warden of the Eternian era. It is only right that you be by our side.
Donna. Then.
The symbol on your arm, Adol, is proof that you've been selected to be a warden. That is why we have come to greet you.
Why was Adol chosen?
Only the brightest soul among the species facing extinction is selected to become a warden. As the selected soul, you are beholden to this fate. Now cease your resistance and join us.
Yeah, you'd think these wardens would be more sympathetic to be like, hey, we know this is awful.
We refuse to accept this.
What a pity.
They are merely overwhelmed by the gravity of our sudden revelation, nothing more. For now, we will take our leave of you.
You will see us again. Steel yourselves.
Until we meet again, Donna.
Wait!
They're gone. The Wardens of Evolution, huh? What should we do, Adol? I refuse. I knew you would say that. I don't know what's going on. Me too, Sahad. But like hell, we're gonna curl up and die just because they're telling us to. Maybe humans can be selfish and arrogant sometimes. Sometimes. But I believe we have much potential and a bright future ahead of us. Yes. But they said there was no way to stop a Lacrimosa. What should we do? We have to do something. Yes, we've forged many paths by ourselves, simply by taking action. But before we act, there is something that concerns me. Is it about Donna? Yes. Donna, I hate to ask you this, but so soon after regaining your memory, but no, it's okay. There's something bothering me about this as well. If I'm a warden, why am I not with them? Good point. That is weird. They came to Seattle, but they didn't seem very concerned with you, Donna. True. Perhaps something happened in the past between Donna and them. I'm sorry. I wish I could remember. The crystal! This is sudden. We need to view the past. I need to see if something happened between me and the Wardens. Yeah, it was around this point, my first playthrough, where I was like, there's no way this game can get weirder. Get to the fog. Oh, it got weirder. Are you serious? Lady Donna was the one who summoned those falling stars? I don't know if it's true or not, but the ones who believe it are trying to capture her. They're telling people that the witch who summoned those evil stars deserves no mercy. How could this happen? And how long is the royal family going to ignore this? You didn't hear? The wise and virtuous Queen Sarai has vanished from the palace. Is that true? They say the entire royal family abandoned the country and ran away. We're on our own. Aw. The city is all but defenseless these days, and the sky is covered with dark clouds. And it keeps getting colder and colder, and it's going to get harder to find food. How could this happen to the glorious kingdom of Eternia? How indeed.
Over here, Donna.
Olga!
It seems you weren't followed. Yes, that's a relief. I guess wandering through all those alleys as a kid really paid off. At any rate, I'm grateful now for how unrestrained you were back then. So, what have you uncovered? Yeah, I would not want to be wearing reverse tank tops when it's snowing. In fact, I don't want to be wearing most of what the Eternians are wearing. Or really aren't wearing, to be more accurate. I was contacted this morning by a colleague who finished translating the document. It took him a while, but he managed to locate Saren Garden. Well, yeah, Gale, but yeah. Saren Garden. We finally found it. Yes, the garden created by those who rebelled against the providence of the gods. I never expected to find a clue to stopping the Lacrimosa in a children's song. We must hope this lead bears out. So where's the garden located? Exactly where you expected. The only restricted area in the kingdom, the Valley of the Kings. Seems the royal family passed down the knowledge of the Saren Garden over generations. Perhaps that's why such a place has always been under such tight security. Every season involves summer clothing if you radiate enough heat from inside. Lol, I don't have that, Gale. As a member of the royal family herself, Sarai had to have known about this. Where she has gone, and why did she not say anything about this? I don't know. Either way, we must hurry to Saren Garden. Yes, you're right. Saren Garden is said to be located in the depths of the tomb. Depths of the tomb? Could it be near the mural? Nothing like that exists in Adol's era. Yes. Perhaps there's a reason that the garden does not exist in Adol's time. Either way, it exists in ours. Anyway, we don't know how much time we have left. Last time the guards stopped me, but this time we'll make it inside the tomb. Should have an easier time entering now that the royal family has lost their power. Still, there arose a riot that destroyed the west bridge leading out of the capital. The only way to get through the Valley of the Kings is through the mountain gate near the temple. Then I'll head to the temple at once. Yes, please be careful. I cannot even go to the secret temple. Wait, where am I? Okay, so I need to go up and around. Have you found the maiden yet? No, she's not here. Yeah, I thought she might be, though. Damn witch. I'll find her. I'm not going that way. These stairs lead to the central district. If I approach from this direction... Oh no! There are guards stationed that direction. I suggest you find another path. Consul Darius, where have you been? Donna. That's a typo. Donna. Lady Donna. Surely you realized why the palace has shut its doors. The day the stars fell upon us was the day Queen Sarai vanished. Hiding the truth and issuing false decrees was my idea. Wait, I don't understand. What happened to Sarai? I grow weary of this facade. I cannot stand the lies and deception that I have been party to. You're leaving too, aren't you? Somewhere far away? Criticize me all you want. I've committed terrible crimes. The East Essence Tower has fallen, opening a path to the central district. You should be able to enter from there. Consul, there's still hope. We can still... Do not lie, my lady. Lies help no one. My actions are proof of that. Hey, Shauna Vision, good to see ya. It's not a lie, though. I'll get to Saren Garden no matter what. Okay, so I can enter through the east tower. Rebel appears to have opened a way to the central district. Why would you not just let me... whatever. La-da-da-da. I will be laughing about that typo for like a week to myself. Bridge leading west out of the capital is destroyed, so I need to get around. I need to go south and head for the mountain gate.
This area is still intact.
Another vision.
This is no time for tears. I can't stop now.
Hey, look! That's her, isn't it?
It's the Maiden of the Great Tree! Stop her!
Oh no.
Oh, time for me to be running.
Where do you think you're going, Your Eminence? You running from your guilty conscience? Is that it?
I remember I used to see you gallivanting around town without a care in the world. Playing with children, wandering around the market. You treated your
Horrible
position like
sins.
a joke. That's why this calamity happened.
That's right! You invited the Star's wrath! You're no maiden to us, witch!
Give me back my daughter! Give me back Mia, you murderer!
Ooh, Mia is one of the twins we played
Everyone,
hide and
please.
seek with.
Just calm down. I didn't.
So you had nothing to do with this?
Rastal?
Then please tell me why this happened, Your Eminence. Why didn't you protect Eternia? Why didn't you protect your people?
I tried.
They found my father's body near the crater, where the falling star landed.
Duran? I didn't know. I don't have an answer for you, Rastal. But as your maiden, and as a friend to all who have fallen and to those who still live, I want to know why this happened more than anyone. I want to know why so many people had to die. I want to know how I can still save Eternia. Still save my people.
Your Eminence.
All hope is not lost. I am Donna Eclusia, Maiden of the Great Tree, protector and leader of the people of Eternia. I never have and never will forsake my solemn duty. I will learn the truth of what happened here, no matter what. Now stand aside!
You really expect us to believe a word coming out of your mouth?
Yeah! Get her!
You have condemned me without a proper trial.
I understand why you are angry, but...
Go, Your Eminence.
Rastal!
Hey! What are you doing?
You're siding with her? She's the reason your father's dead!
There are things I'll never be able to tell my father now. But I know with all my heart that he died upholding his sworn duty. So I will honor my father's memory by living my life as he lived his. I will keep my promise and protect the maiden at all costs. You, traitor! Get him! You must hurry. I don't know how long I can hold them off.
You're the one with a pointy stick.
Don't worry about me. Just let me keep my promise to you.
I promise, I will find out why this happened and come back.
I know you will. You face Rastal, son of Chief Gardran, and I will not allow any of you to pass.
The maiden's getting away!
And I'm aware that's how witch hunts work, Step Zero, but I still can say that it's not fair. Donna is owed due process, just like anyone else. Please be safe, Rastal. So many. At this rate, we won't last long. My lady! I heard the capital was in trouble. I'm glad to see you're safe, at least. Yes, I'm unharmed. But I must hurry to Saren Garden at once. I'm prepared to help. But first I must report what's happening. A lot is happening. It was reported that the Great Tree was glowing with golden light during the star's assault. At the time, we thought the light of the Great Tree was displaying a negative reaction to the falling stars. But we know now that the Earth's essence surged abnormally before a single star fell. And at the center of this essence surge was the Great Tree of Origins. Yes, it would appear that the Great Tree of Origins somehow caused the stars to fall. Based on your description of the mural you saw at the Valley of the Kings, it can only mean the Great Tree of Origins is the cause of this terrible cataclysm. The scene depicted on the mural must be true. Okay, so why don't you all take some hatchets? Perhaps the people are right to lay the blame on me for this disaster. Oh, Your Eminence, I can't believe it. How could this happen? The sole significance of the temple's existence is now lost forever. What are we to do now, Your Eminence? Well, learn the truth. They will lose faith in the Great Tree, and the king will plummet into chaos. That's why we must stay the course and help everyone suffering from these cataclysms. Even so, people may not welcome our help as warmly as they would before. Your Eminence. We have an arduous road ahead of us. And yet, I have never been more proud of you. Huh? Your rambunctious nature vexed me to no end on many occasions. But if it was all leading to this moment, then all is forgiven. I suppose I chose wisely when I nominated you to become the maiden. We accept our fate. As you said, we must save our people, Your Eminence. Even if our faith wavers, our duty never shall. We want to help people. Please tell us what to do. Yes, let us help you. Lady Urganada, everyone. Now then, I believe you are planning to go to Saren Garden, were you not? Do be careful. You've been an extraordinary maiden. I believe in you. I know you'll come back to us. Yes, I will. Please be safe, everyone. Yes! I like that little scene. I'd forgotten about it, but
There. For everyone's sake, I need to hurry.
the priestesses of the temple being like, well, tree's evil, but we still want to serve our people. We still want to do good. I like that. Asking the question of, you know, what is our ultimate faith in? Not sure right now, but we have a duty nonetheless. We'll help our slaves get to work. It's a good tale of resilience.
Is he all right?
I'll do what I can.
Uh-oh. Rastal's having a bad time.
Oh God, please take care of him. See something. See something.
Hey, it's that sapling I planted.
Forbidden Valley of Kings is up ahead. Please, let me make it in time.
Wait, oh. That is a big dinosaur. This is an ancient saurian, one of the oldest still living on hallowed ground. It's near death, but perhaps that's why it no longer recognizes me. sorry, I can't allow you to harm the people or the city. At least, let me end your suffering and bring you to peace. Hello, ancient dinosaur. It is time for me to unalive you. The good thing its weak spot is its belly, and not like its head or something. Or maybe it's just weak to slashing. Down it goes. Huff, huff, huff. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll grieve your loss, I promise. I must go to Saren Garden. This can't be the end. I won't let this be the end.
Yes! Great job!
And that increased Donna's virtue just enough to let us go to the last level of the temple. Which I don't think I... Can I even warp there? Okay, I can warp there now.
You need to do whatever...
Welcome! Please take care of it. Please, thank you!
Yeah, let's just give Donna a level. Chamber of Frost. Depths. What is this? Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? Chamber of Magma. More like Chamber of Lag.
Good heavens. So hot. We need to be careful.
No, no, no. I just wanted the treasure chests.
Change! Here go, change! Here goes! Got the stronger! This looks nice.
How did we not know about this chamber of lava? Asking for a friend. Like, how do you keep this secret? probably the way back up. Nope, that's the way forward. So there must be treasure this way. It's too deep. They mined too deep, too greedily. That's why the stars fell. Does that mean I'm going to be fighting a Balrog? I hope it's one of those lesser Balrog that doesn't really get talked about too much. Knowing my luck, I'm going to be fighting a Balrog. Donna cannot pass.
Here goes.
They might have a cave troll.
Here goes.
That's also bad.
Here goes.
Well, I know they're all a problem, but you know, if I have a choice, I'd take a lesser problem over a greater problem.
Here goes.
What am I missing here? There's... Wrong button. I'm seeing a treasure chest here, but... Oh, it's up there. Okay, I think I know.
Here goes. Change.
Let's take out this Van nerd, and then see if there's something invisible. Yeah, because there it is. Aha!
Change.
I mean, theoretically, the Balrogs have a physical mortal form. Like, they're Maiar, so they're immortal, but they took on a physical form, so that doesn't necessarily mean that that form is immortal. Ow. Life elixir. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up. Where's my life elixir?
Here goes. Raka,
How you doing down there, buddy? You doing okay? Guess what? The hammer's effective as downward tool.
Here goes. Change.
Something over there. You're going to have to be more specific, Donna.
Here goes.
Okay, this works. I still have to once heard someone say, You may be surprised that I found Christian themes in The Lord of the Rings. Really? Christian themes in The Lord of the Rings? You don't say. Yeah, that would be a moment to just kind of raise your eyebrows and go, really?
Here goes. Change.
No one has offered me a convincing argument to fight all of you, so I'm not. Bye. Next, you're going to tell me there are Christian themes in Narnia? The lion is Jesus. Like, it's not a theme. It just is. Boss time. Oh, I spoiled the ending. I'll spoil the ending of Lord of the Rings. Neither the ring nor the Lord survives. Blasphemer.
Here goes.
Stay still. What if the real Lord of the Rings was the friends we made along the way? Very weak ankles. And also just swinging my hammer seems to be really effective. You know, I cannot honestly say who's better fiction writer between Tolkien and Chesterton, because I've never read any of Chesterton's fiction. I should fix that, but I have been enjoying a good science fiction work by a Byzantine Catholic author recently. It's called Mark Maker. Lewis wasn't Catholic. Lewis was Episcopalian or Anglican. Almost destroyed the shield. And there it goes. Oh, his themes are very good, but Step Zero just specifically asks who's the better Catholic author. Ooh, you have a fire sword. I could do that too. Ow, 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 ow. I don't have any anti-fire medicine. Unfortunately, I think fighting fire with hammer is more effective in this case. Will you quit lighting me on fire? The hammer is working wonderfully well, proving the ancient truth. I unga, therefore I bunga. Lada Dada, unga bunga. I don't mind using up my heals here because this is the last time we come here with Donna. This thing's name is Blasphema. It sounds like someone's trying to say, like, blasphemer, but making it like a music name. Yo, 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 it's your boy, Blasphema. Or, hello, New York, we are the Blasphemas. Now I kind of want to make a band with the name Blasphemer, but spell femur like the bone. I have blown up the ancient robot. Reward me. Eternal gauntlets.
Finally, you reached the monolith. But will it activate?
Only one way to find out. Channel some essence. During construction of the villa, an ancient ruin was unearthed. While exploring the ruins, researchers found old records in areas they named the Wall of Truth and the Garden. When these records were decoded, a terrible truth was revealed. The Great Tree of Origins, giver of essence, was the harbinger of the world's doom. This revelation undermined all that Eternia had done to achieve its prosperity. Notifying the king, he ordered that the ruin be concealed from the public. Unfortunately, an errant nobleman had also learned the truth and took matters into his own hands. The Great Tree will bring about a terrible calamity that threatens all of Eternia. Gathering his most loyal retainers, the nobleman sent forth to burn the Great Tree to cinders. Flaming arrows were loosed upon the Great Tree. The heavens cried out, and the men who loosed these arrows were swiftly turned to dust. The cataclysm had begun. Bolts of roaring lightning carved terrible scars into the land, tearing the earth asunder. The Eternians believed themselves above reproach, that they faced no threats due to their essence. Within their new capital, the cataclysm worked the citizenry into a panic. Yet amidst the horror, there was a group of people who roamed the earth unabated. Uranius ventured across blasted lands, saving many, until he finally arrived at the roots of the Great Tree. Calm your heart, for this is the time of tribulation, is when the heart is tested most. With these words, Uranius led all who would hear him in prayer. And as they prayed, the inexorable march of time continued. Only when they heard the sound of the bird songs did the people notice the wind's gentle touch and the soothing kiss of sun's light. The cataclysm had ended, leaving behind a vast, deep-set scar in the southern lands.
If the Valley of Kings is where they tried to build the villa, then the Wall of Truth must be the mural in the depths of the tomb. In the garden. Must be Saren Garden. I'm surprised to find information about Saren Garden in this sanctuary. In olden times, people knew that the Great Tree was the cause of disasters, and those who tried to fight back against the Great Tree were
Cataclysmed.
I can't know for certain unless I see it for myself. I must go to Saren Garden right away.
And this time there is no door behind us. A large engraving is contained in the floor. This looks like the engravings on the door. What does it mean? I don't see a door leading further on, and I believe this is the final floor. This is a dead end. I have no choice but to turn back now. Blue wind staff. Oh, look at those. Let's go. Do I save those for Adol, or do I... Let's save them for Adol. Blue wind staff. Can I equip multiple accessories that have matching effects? Oh, you can't stack SP cost reduction. Interesting. Literally never knew that. Wasn't there a crystal? Can Donna not warp using the crystals in her time? Huh, learning something new every day. Oh, it just plops me back here. Okay.
I see something.
Love the strings in this track.
I see something.
Nope. 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 I have a world to save. I don't have time to fight every one of you. Please don't take it personally. The river is dried up. This is supposed to be supplying water to the capital. What happened? That's a piece of a falling star. The impact must have dammed the river. Plants are starting to die. I can't just ignore this. Whatever this falling star is made of, it's incredibly dense. That's why the current has completely stopped. If I can move it out of the way, the river should flow again. Yes, move it. I think I can move it with my essence. Here goes nothing. Yay! Huh, it worked. The plant should start growing again. With the changes in the weather, I don't know how long that will take. Just do whatever I can. I must go soon. I need to trust everyone and keep moving.
We did it!
Oh, come on. Where did you all come from? Release the disturbance. Free the spirit. Ah, thank you. I can't believe you rescued me. Donna Ecclesia, maiden of the great tree. Who are you? How do you know my name? I'm sorry to alarm you. My name is Celine, spirit of covenants. I was birthed in the sealed land. Due to the land's proximity to Saren Garden, essence disturbances are far more frequent here. Ever since my birth, I've been observing the history of Eternia. You must know the true purpose of Saren Garden. Please tell me what I must do. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. All I can do is form this covenant with you. Please accept this power. Does that list have people erroneously believed to be authors? Luminous enhanced. A dark path lies ahead of you, one of pain and misery. Someone is very concerned for you too. Please allow us spirits to grant you our protection. Well, that seems unbalanced then. Not sure I understand, but you pity me, Cillian? Oh, thank you. But you don't need to worry about me. I have people supporting me. They're the reason I can keep going. Donna. I'm glad you are exactly who you hope to be. It's not every day that a spirit finds itself rescued by a mortal. A lot of people think Andrzej Sypakowski is Catholic, but no, he's just Polish. Well, there you go. I mean, when you're dealing with a Polish name like that, the gambling odds are in your favor. Hey, we've been here before. This place. Beautiful. This must be Saren Garden. This place was a ruin in Adol's era. This inscription. In every era exists Saren Garden, into which the collective psyche of species does flow, providing herein nourishment to this tree. Stored within the collective psyche of species, the very will to live. The collective psyches of species across eras are amassed as such, producing power beyond reckoning for the transcendent one. Thus, when the tree of psyches reaches maturity, disrupting providence and the natural order, the days of weeping shall come to an end. If this is Saren Garden, that flow must be the psyche of all species. This tree looks really weak. If it grows, it'll have enough power, but at this rate...
You came here after all.
The Wardens of Evolution.
Saren Garden. I've not seen this place in ages. As you have come here, I can only surmise that you are not ready to join us yet.
Have you been here before?
Of course. I am the architect of this garden.
What?
Take notice. The water bridges represent each species of a given era. The weak flow from that water bridge is the collective psyche of the Eternians.
Far stronger psyches are required to disrupt the providence of the Lacrimosa. Look upon the Tree of Psyches. See how young it is. The collective psyches of species past are not sufficient to spur its growth.
Was it not made clear to you in your scarlet vision? You have no means by which to save your doomed species.
You have shown remarkable fortitude in the face of this adversity. That is why I think you understand. The Lacrimosa cannot be stopped.
But this garden was my last hope.
We shall take our leave of you, Donna. Should you change your mind, please seek an audience with us. We will not turn you away. After all, you are a fellow Warden of Evolution.
No. It's not over yet.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
sure
some
you
defiant
feel the same
resilience.
as I do. The time will come for this place.
That's a lot of snow. Or ash. Or both.
I tried to call out to him one last time, hoping there could still be a chance, but it was no use. You...
How long will you continue this folly? The cataclysms have wiped out all Eternians. Even your best friend, Olga, is gone.
Olga. She gathered the remaining people at the palace and tried to lead them until the end. It was heroic of her.
I see. Far be it from me to ask you this, but why not allow yourself to feel a measure of peace? Why are you still doing this?
Because there are still people I can save.
Who do you mean? The Eternians are no more.
Not them. Adol and his allies, who are defying the Lacrimosa in the distant future, and the Wardens of Evolution, enthralled by its curse. I can still save them both. So please, let me help you, Sarai.
Plot twist.
So you noticed?
Yes.
It's a foolish notion to think that we could ever be freed from this curse. Do you even understand what you're saying?
I see the way you Wardens look at me. I think I remind you all of the people you used to be.
You wouldn't. Why? I don't understand.
What happened here? Did she succumb to the weight of her burden and take her own life? She should already know that she is immortal. What an impulsive, pointless gesture. No, it wasn't.
What?
What is she doing? Cast herself into a deep sleep. She's gonna wait here for Adol. I see. So this was her intention. Once she succumbs to her despair, she will have no choice but to join our fold. Unless she is refusing to become a warden in the first place by sealing herself away. Really now. She will most likely awaken when the next Lacrimosa comes to pass, and she will defy us then, too. What? Is she mad? Is she bolder than her countenance would suggest? But how will she find the next warden if she is slumbering here? So long as the great tree continues the cycle of evolution, her time will come eventually. How curious. Does that insignificant child really believe she is free to choose to defy the Lacrimosa? Well, somehow she is able to communicate with the next species. In hindsight, such a power has never been permitted before. Are you suggesting she was privy to knowledge that we were not? At this time, I cannot say anything. Either way, she has chosen for herself the endless uphill path of rebellion. I hardly expect anything to change before the almighty Lacrimosa. Our duty is to bear witness to the events as they unfold. All we can do is watch over her as the next species takes root. It is a bit of a red flag, isn't it, Step Zero? But that's why Donna's rebellious and defiant, and I like that in her. I'm also confused because isn't there just supposed to be one representative of the species set aside? So why is Sarai also there, or Sarai from a previous Lacrimosa and pretending to be an Eternian, or did she? Anyway. That's one plot hole that I don't understand in this game. That was more intense than I expected. Yes, it was. I can't believe what you've endured. I'm shocked. I'm shocked too, but now I remember everything. I've been waiting for Adol. Waiting for the next species, so I can bring hope to everyone. Donna! That explains why you're not with the other wardens. Jeez, my brain feels close to bursting. How could you steel yourself up like that? I just couldn't think of anything else to do in the moment. But we know what to do now. We must go to the Saren Garden. That's right. It's the only way to stop the Lacrimosa. Yeah, it's our best bet. Its remains were sealed away by the royal family, even as the maiden took a lot of effort to me to learn of its existence. By gathering the collective psyches of species, the very will to live, the garden cultivates the power by which the providence of nature can be defied. Huh? I don't know what that means, but it sounds really cool. Me too. I'm more surprised that it was built by one of the wardens. Yes, we should make our way to the Valley of the Kings and see this garden for ourselves. I planted a prayer tree sapling there, so the garden should be restored in this era. The tree of Psyche has grown enough. Isn't that the one warden we met there, your friend Donna? We're talking about Sarai. I was surprised by that too. Why is one of the wardens former queen of Eternia? There's probably more than we know at the moment. Adol, we must hurry to Saren Garden.
Yes.
Saren Garden is the Valley of the Kings at the bottommost depths of the tomb. That's right. I'll explain more once we get there. All right, let's go. You may now warp anywhere within the Isle of Siren. Fast travel has been restored. But that is actually a perfect place to call it for the day. Having wrapped up all that story. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. Really quickly, let's take a look at... Oh, I guess that only exists in Donna's time, or is only for Donna? That glove I gave her? Huh. Okay. It's unclear sometimes which items travel through time and which ones don't. But... save just to make sure, but yeah. So a lot of plot to happen today. But thank you so much to everyone for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. It's been good having y'all here. As a reminder, if you want a busted Halo 2023 Christmas ornament, head on over to the Let Us Play Discord in the general chat. Just let me know what you want for Christmas. That'll get you entered. I don't guarantee anything. I can't promise Santa to bring you anything other than this, but you know, it's fun to see what people want. And the drawing will happen the day after St. Nicholas Day, because St. Nicholas Day is Wednesday and I don't stream that day. But the 7th, the following day, I do stream, so we'll do it then. Join us tomorrow for more Minecraft for Retro Tuesday. It's the last Minecraft for a little bit. Have something special planned for December, so that'll be fun. And Thursday, what are we doing Thursday? More Skyrim. It's our last Skyrim stream. We've got one more city that we want to try and find more of the books of tales and myths and whatnot. No, Christmas is not Lemmings, but it is other fun stuff. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in, liking, subscribing, following, all that good jazz. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Take care, and God bless.